You can learn a lot from successful real estate companies like Landwey. You can learn from Mixta Africa. You can learn from Gracias. You can learn from Cosgrove. You can learn from Brains and Hammers. Because for these people to be successful in their real estate investment, in their real estate project for these number of years, they are getting a lot of things right. Hello everyone. On this episode of the show, I'm going to be showing you and telling you what can make you a lot of money in real estate in Nigeria or save you a lot of money, because the truth is that a lot can go wrong in a hurry. And when we talk about real estate investments, real estate and investing in real estate here in Nigeria, you need to realize that you need to constantly tweak literature. You need to constantly tweak what is obtainable in other parts of the world to align to our local realities. Because if you try to paint it with the same brush, you may run into problems quickly. Now, this is the most important thing that you need to know about real estate. Number one that you need to know: learn from successful real estate companies, businesses, and developers in Nigeria. And the few years that I have been in this real estate industry, I've realized that a lot of people want to innovate in silos. A lot of people want to go to a place where nobody's building and then you start building. But the truth of the matter is that when you innovate in Nigeria, you need to realize that there are a lot of things you need to put in mind. People that have gone ahead of you, why didn't they think about it? Why are they doing what you're doing? And we live in a kind of a society that you need to be very, very careful. And even an old adage says that I stand on the shoulders of those that have gone ahead of me. And you can learn a lot from successful real estate companies like Landwey. You can learn from Mixta Africa. You can learn from Gracias. You can learn from Cosgrove. You can learn from Brains and Hammers. Because for these people to be successful in their real estate investment, in their real estate project for these number of years, and they are still standing and they are still forging forward, they are getting a lot of things right. And they may not be getting some things right, but they are getting a lot of things right. So whether you're an individual, you're a company, you're an investor, you need to pay particular attention to what they are doing or what they have done. And that, I feel, is the first most important thing that you need to gain from real estate investment in Nigeria. And you need to pay careful attention. And following from that, you need to choose. Number two, you need to choose the right real estate investment strategy. Life is all about strategy, and if you go into real estate without a strategy and you just go headlong and you don't think about how you're going to implement the strategy, you might fail. You might fail because you don't know what to do. And there are basically 4 strategies in real estate that you can take advantage of. Basically 4. You can talk about rental. You might want to go into rentals, and rentals basically involve buying a property, putting it in the market to get monthly rental income. And rentals are very, very big business here in Nigeria, Lagos, different parts of the world, different states here in Nigeria. And if you hack this strategy very well, you can see that if you go to a prime place, you can actually get it something like you can get passive income from rentals. And don't sleep on rentals, guys. It is a huge money spinner. Most landlords here in Lagos, they are able to travel abroad. They're able to do so much just from the rentals that they get. And recently somebody was complaining that even studio apartments here in Lagos, studio apartment is basically a self-contained, go as high as 2.5 million naira now. So the rentals, they are big businesses. It's a big and it's a very, very workable business model that pays year on in perpetuity as long as you're alive. But what you need to avoid in rentals is that avoid getting to a point where your rental property is empty. And there are so many empty lots, empty units that you can see around Lagos. You need to make sure your marketing is right, your pricing is right, and you need to know what the market is doing. What is the market providing? You're providing water, you're providing electricity, you're providing maybe services around your units or your rental apartment. That is very, very important, because somewhere like Abidjan right now, if you buy a house, if you buy one of their 3-bedroom units, about 30 million naira, you can start getting 1.5 million naira per year. It is guaranteed because a company has already listed to their staff, and so if you're the owner of that rental property, you can be guaranteed 1.5 million naira per year. So give or take, in 10, 20, 30 years, you have recouped, or less than that, because that's going to compound. So in 10 years, you have recouped your cost, and then you start making profit. Also bear in mind that the price and the value of that development is going up. So by the time you have gotten your investment in that, by the time you've broken even, it has probably risen by 100%, both the rental amount and both the value of that property. So rentals is very, very, very big business, and you can take advantage of that as a real estate investment strategy. The number 2 strategy you can take advantage of is flipping of lands and houses. And basically, flipping works this way: you purchase a property, you purchase a land, you purchase a development, and then you try to sell it again at the quickest amount of time possible for profit. Of course, you're going to add some value to that place. So let's say you buy a land from somebody, then you do the clearing, you do the fencing, you do 1 or 2 things, you put some development, you do the road, and then you want to sell it out back to the next person, and then you add probably a 30, 40, 500% margin even. Some people do that. In fact, I heard a pastor talk about a person that he bought land in a particular place, and then the company actually launched their probably I think telecom cables or something. They put telecom cables there. They were the first, around the first time in the country to do that, and the value of that place shot up by almost 500%. So in flipping, you're able to gauge a particular place, probably in long term, short term, whatever, and you want to resell it at a higher value. And a company that works well with this is a company in Lagos called Gracias Global, and they have so many mouth-watering properties. Peridot Heights, they have along Lekki Ekwe Expressway, Gracias Morganite. They have so many different landed properties that they have. They get these landed properties either by government allocation or by sponsorship, and then they sell it to the customers. They promise you to do road, they promise you to do electricity, they fence it off, they interlock the place, they clear it off, and then they sell it for you at 100% margin or even greater than that. And so if you're thinking of investing in real estate, you should consider that strategy. It's called flipping. It works very well, and it's a workable model. Another company also that does flipping is Landwey. Landwey flips a lot because Landwey has a lot of land that they've bought and then they want to flip. The third strategy is property development. We talked about a company in Lagos State, Gracias Global, that does well with flipping. Another company that does well with property development is Landwey. And actually, Landwey started with flipping. They got a lot of land in Lekki and they flipped it, they sold out, they flipped it. But when they got a particular development called the Urban Prime Series in Abraham Adesonia, they decided they were going to do development. They were selling land, 1 plot, 30 million naira, but they also had development off plan. Off plan means that it hasn't been built yet, but they have the blueprint, and then you just buy. And so when Landwey started Urban Prime became such a hit. It was a hit back to back, and they never looked back from there. They went on to Urban Prime 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, Urban Prime 3 has phase 1 and phase 2, and they just realized that if you position yourself well, if you do your marketing well, and if you deliver on time, you realize that you can become very, very rich and very, very successful with development in real estate. So if you're thinking of a strategy, consider real estate in development. Consider real estate development as a strategy in investing in real estate. And then the fourth strategy is REITs, REITs, Real Estate Investment Trusts. schemes. Real estate investment trust scheme. Simply put, a REIT is a trust that pools funds from individual investors, acquires, operates, and or manages income generating real estate. And basically, there are different types of REITs. You have equity REITs and mortgage REITs. These REITs are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and the one company that does very well is REITs. In fact, the biggest REIT company is the Uacn, a subsidiary, Updc rather, a subsidiary of Uacn. And there are only 3 recognized REITs that are registered by the SEC in Nigeria. There's the Ownahome, there's the Sky Shelters, and there's the Updc, a subsidiary of Uacn. Nigeria by 2019 had the market cap of REITs at 32 billion to 72 billion, compared with South Africa, which has a total market cap of $31 billion out of 31 REITs. So we have 3 REITs. That is, the cap is 72 billion market cap. South Africa, their market cap is about $32 billion and they have 31 REITs. And for even better context, the US has a market cap of $898.41 billion, almost $900 billion market cap of their REITs. And we have a long way to go in REITs. And in fact, the biggest REIT, which is Updc, posted a loss last year, and they are willing to come back. In fact, they own cash producing assets like Pinnock Beach Estate in Osapa, London, Lekki Scheme 2 in Lagos. So if you're thinking of investing in real estate, I would not recommend REITs. But if it's something that you want to find out more about, indeed you can research more about it and then think about it, because it should be in other places of the world. It's big business, and it should be here in Nigeria. So these are the 4 different real estate strategies that you can start taking advantage of from today. These are the 3 real estate investment strategies you can start with. 4.